So nowadays, a lot more people are learning how important it is to desensitize their horse. And desensitizing is so important to setting our horse up to success, because basically in a controlled environment, we are exposing our horses to different stimulus and energy and pressure and teaching them how to deal with them in a calm, cool, collected, methodical manner, so that when you're in the arena or in the show ring or going down the trail and your horse experiences something scary, they've already had some practice with it in a safe, controlled environment at home. Well, I want to give you 3 tips to successful desensitizing. So number 1 is taking the pressure away at the correct time. A lot of people, when they start desensitizing, they start just adding pressure to their horse, like I'm doing right now. And then they'll just add it for a while, and then they'll just take the pressure away at a random moment and say, oh, good pony, good boy. That doesn't really teach our horse anything. When we're desensitizing, we want to make sure that we take away the pressure only when our horse is quiet and relaxed. So I'm going to go ahead and add pressure again. You see him throw his head up there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to add the pressure here until he starts to maybe lower that head a little bit, or maybe even start to have that nose come in towards me a little bit. Right there, that nose just started to come in just a little bit, so I took the pressure away and let him know that he made a really good choice. So there's a lot of different ways that we can tell that our horse is relaxed. Sometimes they'll take a nice big deep breath. Other times they'll kind of shift their weight to kind of say, hey, I'm okay standing here for a little bit. Having a good low head carriage where their head is nice and low, that's another good sign. Or having that nose kind of tip in and incline towards you. You'll even get horses, they'll kind of soften their eyes, and you can see their eyes get a little bit soft and relaxed, where they don't have big old bright eyes where they look like they're nervous. And then licking and chewing like he's doing right now. If your horse starts to lick and chew, that's a really good indication that your pony is relaxed and they're comfortable. And then another one is sometimes your pony will rest a foot. You'll see a pony kind of cock a hind foot and rest it. So there's a number of different markers that you can look for so that you can identify when your horse is relaxed. And so be vigilant to look for any indication that your pony is relaxed, and then immediately take the pressure away and make sure that you take a nice big deep breath as you take that pressure away. And that brings us right into my second tip, which is breathe. And that sounds so simple. Well, of course I'm breathing. I'd be dead if I weren't breathing. But a lot of us, especially when we're exposing our horse to something that we know that scares them, we kind of hold our breath as we're desensitizing, and we're kind of waiting to see, okay, how's he going to do? Is he going to be okay? Well, I want to encourage you, while you're applying pressure, take nice big deep breaths to let your horse know that you're not afraid. See, a lot of times we transfer energy over to our horse. And so by holding our breath, that makes our horse suspect. They wonder, what's going on? Why is he holding his breath right now? Is there something scary that's going to pop out and come and eat me or attack me, or what's going on here? But if I'm desensitizing and I'm breathing with nice quiet body language where I'm relaxed, well, that's going to convey upon my horse, and I'm going to be more convincing to my horse that there really is nothing for him to worry about. So make sure that while you're desensitizing, that you're also taking those nice big deep breaths while you're applying pressure to your horse. So the third tip is to make sure that you just make progress. It's not about getting her all done at once. It's not about taking care of whatever that fear or anxiety that your horse has and carving it out at one time right away. What we want to do is slowly build our horse's confidence so that it sticks. And I'm sure a lot of you have had situations where your horse seems to be okay with one thing one time, but then the next day, this thing that we thought they were okay with is all of a sudden a big scary monster again, right? And we kind of laugh and say, oh, our horses are crazy. But no, the reality is we haven't been patient enough to help them to build their confidence so that they're very secure and okay with whatever that scary object is. So For example, if Buck were afraid of this flag and he was really reacting, all I would look for is just the slightest bit of relaxation from him. And so his eyes are starting to soften, his head is starting to drop a little bit. I'm going to take the pressure away and I'm going to call that a win. We made progress. And so then if next time it takes a little bit less time for him to relax to the pressure, that's progress. It doesn't mean that he has to do it perfectly, and it doesn't mean he has to get it right away each time. But if I have continual progress and each time I build on that progress, I'm going to build his confidence to help him to understand that he can do this and that he's more than capable of standing there on his own and being relaxed while I apply pressure, but also that I'm going to be fair enough that the moment that I see him there start to relax, I'm going to take the pressure away and reaffirm him, let him know that he made a good choice, and then I'll build on it the next time. A lot of times we get into the habit of schooling our horses, drilling them over and over and over again. And I want to caution people against that. Instead of schooling your horse, make sure that you're taking away the pressure at the right time. Make sure you're breathing. Look for progress. If you see progress, back off. Leave that horse alone. Let them just chill there and enjoy being a horse and making the good decisions that they've made. And I guarantee you, if you do that, the next time you work on them, you're going to notice great improvement. He's going to have much more progress, and your horse is going to be so much more confident. If you enjoyed the desensitizing tips that I just shared with you, then you need to have a copy of my desensitizing flowchart. This is the very same cheat sheet that I use to make sure that my horses are safe and confident before I ever climb up in the saddle for the first time. You can think of this as kind of like a pre-flight checklist, making sure that everything's a go before we climb up. Nobody likes riding a spooky reactive horse, a horse where you're not sure if just the slightest breeze or plastic bag is going to send them off the deep end. Nobody wants to put themselves in an unsafe situation where you're compromising your safety. Imagine riding a horse that you know is going to be okay for you because you've already put them up and gone through this flow chart check by check, making sure that they're going to give you the very safest ride possible. Go ahead and click the link below. Put in your email address and get your own copy of my very own flowchart that's going to help you with your desensitizing in order to make your horse safe and more confident.